I think one of us is going to die on that. Going from history, pretty good football team.
Things don't seem to bother them. You know, they can accept it. Joe Montana, Terry Bradshaw, was a bunch of us that tried to three-peat. We never even got to the Super Bowl. He's gotten that far, so I would give the advantage just to him. Plus,
How do you like staying so young though? Like I think stuff like
My wife asked me that question.
Hurts, on the other hand, the guy had a little bit of an up and down question.
I don't know. I'm not a big fan.
I thought what Jerry did for the last game was really cool. Because they only averaged about 130 or 40 yards passing, prior to that. And everybody was all over him, and he handles that pretty well. He threw for almost 260 yards, ran for 3, passed for 1. And I think that he needed that, and their team needed it for their passing coming into this game. Now you take it back a couple of years when they played one another. All right, he was phenomenal. Phenomenal. And had they not had the fumble return and the questionable pass interference holding at the end of the game, it could maybe been a different story. He would have been the MVP. They could have gone in at halftime and been up by 3 scores. Whew, that's a big difference. That quick touchdown, that was something. So I love them both. They're both excellent at what they do. The other guys just won Super Bowls and won 3 of them already. And so I just on experience and success rate, I just didn't get.
Terry, I got a Lions question for you.
What you got?
They lost their coordinators, obviously. How do you think that impacts Jared Goff and the offense?
In Detroit? Yeah. Oh, man. See, that was kind of like my hair looks
fantastic.
That was we all thought that it was make or break. They built that team. They still built it. Their defense took a blow, but boy, when they got in the playoffs, we all said, then they got to win it because this Johnson guy is going to be gone, and the other guy is going to win. Aaron Glenn, he's going to be gone. Sure enough, they're all gone. So now you can have the same play, okay? You can run the same offense, but great coordinators, it's when they use those plays and the formations that they use to dictate coverage. That's the specialty of an offensive coordinator. When you look at the 32 teams in the NFL, there are not that many great coordinators. There's a lot of coordinators, but there's not a lot of great ones. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think you look at Denver and Sean Payton, who I think is the best in the world. Even, you grow these kids, you build them up, teach them, you throw them somewhere else, and hopefully turn into good coordinators. Boy, that hurt Detroit.
Is Goff good enough to overcome some of that?
Yeah, he's good enough. But once again, when you run a play, when you call a play, when you do a double reverse, when you do all these things, that's where the coordinator is special. When you blitz, when you don't blitz, do you blitz here, do you blitz, do you stack, do you do things differently? It's like in these Super Bowl games, it's always something different. So what's going to be different? Kansas City, when are they going to blitz? They're going to fake blitz. Nothing got the quarterback crazier than seeing everybody get up there tight. Now they're not all coming. So who's not coming? There's a 4-man rush, there's a 3-man rush, 5 guys coming. There are keys to all of that. And that's why a quarterback's got to really be sharp, and he's got to be coached well to know that they can't. When I set this formation this way, they can't blitz here. It's not strong. It's weak. It's weak. You can't do that. You expose yourself. And the other side knows that. So if you do something that's not safe, you get burnt. So you got to be smart about it. That's why formation is so critical in today's game.
How are you going to continue winning?
I would like to. It's funny you should ask it, because I told my wife before I left the room a while ago, I'm sitting there and I said, I got 2 years left. I'm 76. Okay, so it's a young You know, it's a young man's game. I get that. Everybody wants the new. Oh, that's nice. That's Howie. I thought they said Gronk was sitting there.
Behind you.
Oh, behind. Well, that's where he'll always be. Behind you. And so I said, if we can get to the next Super Bowl, I'll be 80. I think that's time. And that's 80 years old, and that's pushing it.
Terry, you got honored at Tulane University.
I know. Yeah.
What's so special about football? What's so special about football in Louisiana as a native?
Well, first of all, I'm a native. My first Super Bowl was here. And it's a great football state. They talk about Texas, Florida, and California, Ohio maybe, but Louisiana is loaded with talent. And so I just think I'm gonna be honest with you, when they told me they were gonna give me a day, my first thing I told my wife, and they said, why are they doing that? So I tried to figure it out. Okay, it's a Super Bowl, they're just doing that. I had, why are they doing that? So I was, but it was a cool day. You know, and of course, there were about 300 people. You know, it's kept up. So I used an old trunk line. I just said, oh my God, it's 150,000 people.
Terry, people talk about your Steelers team to this day.
Yeah.
It's a different era. You have the salary cap on them.
Right.
When you look at what the Chiefs have done with Mahomes and Kelsey and Andy Reid, how do they stack up to you?
The only difference in all of these teams today and the teams of the 70s is that we drafted our Super Bowl teams. Now they pick them, they build them through the draft, or at least they try to. They simulate some kind of a team, all right? Then they go, oh, Tyreek Hill's not happy. We're shipping his ass to Miami. But who are we going to replace him with? Now we're whoever. Okay, he's available. We'll pay him money. We bring them in. Okay, we need a running back. Oh, ours got a broke leg. Okay. Oh yeah. All right, we got him. So now you can go out and get players. You know, if they're free agents. Whereas in my day and time, you got drafted, you went nowhere unless you were cut, or they traded you, you were stuck. And so the thing that I'm most proud of our 4 Super Bowls, it was the same team. Now there may have been on offense, no changes, none. On defense, maybe 2. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good draft. Yeah, that's pretty good. So that's the major difference.
What do you think about what Terry? You mentioned Sean and Denver. So with him working with Bo, what's Bo's feeling after what he did this past season?
I talked to Sean this morning. Actually, he loves it. He's faster than he thought he was, stronger than he thought he was, bigger than he thought he was. He's got an arm strength bigger than he thought it was. Poise. The key to all these quarterbacks, these young kids, is poise. Even when they get their ass knocked off. You look at Daniels and Washington. How cool is that kid? Getting his ass knocked off. Boom, boom. So these young quarterbacks that are successful are with good coordinators, like kids that's here, that's in Philadelphia. It's going to be the Saints. Kellen Moore, boys mistake, good offensive mind. So, the thing that they had is Herbert had it, Mahomes had it when he played. Joe Burrow had it. Kid up in Buffalo had it, Josh. So they had that special thing where pressure doesn't bother them. And if you can be calm amongst the storm, then your brain can function and you can see things clearly. If you're in the panic mode, then you don't see anything. You see blurs. And so all these young kids in Bo Nix, I knew that if Sean Payton, and I don't know Boone, I remember him at Auburn, he was just, but I knew if Sean drafted him, Sean knew something. Sean knew he could coach this kid. So that when Sean drafted him, I went, boy, that's going to be good. And it sure enough was.
Hey Terry, I want to ask you about, did you have a chance also to level yourself with Willis Montana for full Super Bowl? If he wins on Sunday, what do you think he ranks amongst other quarterbacks over that top table? Do you think he's second behind Brady if he wins, or do you think
Everybody's behind Brady. Tom won 7. See, the thing wrong with our society today, we can't wait to have an argument about who's the best. How the hell are you going to do that? You're going to do decades. Would you put Mahomes back in the 60s and 70s when they knocked your ass off? Or they'd be a little different, huh? Or even if you put Brady back there, he can't run. He can't outrun you. So, you know, I'm not a big the best ever, except for Tom. Tom's got, and it's all about championship. If you've got the rings, Jack. Rings ring true. How's it go? Someone help me. Rings ring true. Whatever. Anyway, rings are the thing. I never had anybody, nor should they ask me, how about your stats, Terry? How many touchdowns? All about the ring. Where are your rings? How many rings? I'm good. So that's the most important thing. If he wins 3 in a row, he certainly is the only one to do it. Since 1930, some crazy thing. So I'll give him that. Best ever, I'm not, no way am I going to say that.
Hey, Terry,
I saw you last night with Lady Gaga on in Burger Street.
Right.
We know the performance was pretty somber, but I want to know from you what it was like to be out with Lady Gaga on Burger Street. What was that like for you?
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice lady.
Nice lady.
And can she sing?
I mean, right?
Can she sing?
Blew the house down, huh?
Yeah, she's good. She is so talented. Yeah, it's the second time I've been with her. I was with her in Houston, I believe, and someplace else. Yeah. I'm a little in awe of her talent. I was as close as I am to this guy right here, and I didn't say a word.
Is that right?
I didn't say a word.
Okay, do you have a favorite Gaga song? Is there one that's on you? I don't know.
No, I have no. I don't. Only Gaga songs I know are from
The Stars Born.
That's all. I don't listen to that.
Who do you think is?
I listen to gospel music.
I know that's right.
Yeah.
Who do you think is closer to Bradley Cooper? You or Lady Gaga?
Oh, Cooper. Yeah. Please. For sure. Yeah, sexy young guy, you know, a lot of hair. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Plus, he brought her in that movie. And she got, she won an Oscar. She won, what you win the other night? She got a Grammy the other night, right? Her and Bruno Mars.
She don't play.
Yeah.
She don't play.
She's nice.
What can you tell us about that time that you spent with her, the song that she performed, the feeling that people had as they performed?
She's just, the thing about Lady Gaga, you're talking to me like we're old friends. You know, I just respect her. She's truly a lady, super sweet lady. And people that do know her, she's extremely generous with her time and her money, loves her family and her friends. And I think her work ethic reflects that. You know, I like the way she dresses. I like her look. I look at her. Man, you know what? Before God takes me home, I can sing better than Bruno Mars. No, I can't. You might. No, I can sing better than Bruno Mars. That's why Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars. I mean, Lady Gaga and Terry Bradshaw. I'm telling you, that'll reach the southern people, like the farmers and him. The whole new audience. Get that back to her, will you?
I'm gonna do it. Hey, Gaga, back to you right now.
Yeah, Gaga, Lady. You call her Lady Gaga?
Good Gaga. Good Gaga.
Terry, I remember the days when you were paired with Vern Lundquist as a color commentator,
right,
and you made Tampa Bay Buccaneers games look interesting.
Right.
I mean, they were bad back then. They really
were
were.
Bad.
So, do you miss being a color commentator, and do you ever wish you had gotten back into it?
if you're going to cover football, you want to be a broadcaster.
Right.
I'm not a broadcaster in pregame.
Sneak out.
Okay, I'm a personality
He will sneak out.
that knows football.
Right.
So I approach football from an entertainment standpoint,
Right.
as opposed to if I was doing the game like Brady's doing.
Right.
I would look at it totally different. You know, I loved being in the booth, loved it, but I didn't want to be behind John Madden. I did not. There's nothing in my DNA that says I need the money so bad that number 2 is worth it. And so I did. I told CBS I wasn't coming back, and then they told me to sleep on it. And then April 1st, I got a phone call. They had let Brett Musburger go. Called me and said, "We're going to rebuild the NFL today around you." And I said, "Oh yeah, you're going to build it around. What are you doing? You're going to build it around me." And they said no. And we're going to bring you. We're going to have Leslie Visser, Pat O'Brien, and
Well, I know Leslie. She's a pro.
yeah.
But
So that's how I got into it. That's why I went back. Or I was just going to be a farmer.
really.
Yeah.
I have never seen a guy though more interesting in the booth and fun than you. And I've seen a lot of play-by-play guys.
That's
but
what
you
I
never have.
enjoyed that, and I just got to burr up my booty because I just couldn't stand being behind John Madden. I deserved to be behind him, but that just went against my DNA. You know.
Terry, you are the genesis of this thing. You and